Good evening. I'm Chuck Hucklebuck, and you'll notice by the disdained and disgust look on my face that I am once again yet alone for results. Where are my esteemed colleagues, you may ask? Well, one of them's computer has broke, so through no other technology has he found a way to be able to do results with me. One of them has been deported to Mexico by their fiance and is likely going to turn up dead due to the cartel. And the other one, that is usually generally with me at all times, is babysitting a fucking dog. Oh no, no, that dog right there, that's not even accurate any longer. That dog right there has looked like she's ate all the dogs. She looked like she ate all the kangaroos' families. That is not accurate at all anymore. Nope. There it is. Yeah, that's about right.
Audio Jungle.
All right. Hey, welcome back. I'm Chuck Hucklebuck, and these are the Massacre and Eclipse results that, again, as mentioned, I'll be doing completely on my own. So, what's even the point, right? I mean, just conduct the whole train. Why don't you? Why not? No, it's an empty train here. There's nobody shoveling coal. Anyway, we're going to break right into the results. We're going to get into this unbelievable, unreal that started this whole ordeal. Oh my God. You know, I had the Massacre management message me and they didn't even know who their champions were. Anyway, Saturday Night Massacre was live from Detroit Rock City. I'm going to read this off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second Saturday Night Massacre of 2022. The description is good. For residents of the city that are esteemed 78,000 abundant buildings, they're just part of a landscape. I do like this description. But tonight we try to be part of the stipulation Saturday here in the dictionary? Definition of Detroit's decay. Oh my God. That was good, man. That was actually pretty good. We started off with a barbed wire cage match. A barbed fucking wire cage match, ladies and gentlemen. Between Johnny Christ and Robbie Cutthroat. And I can tell you, it was what you wanted it to be. Both men showed up. I was a little shocked, but they showed up to fight. And they got ripped to pieces and hurt themselves. And, hopefully they're able to come back after this. But overall, Johnny Christ manages to somehow pick up that victory over Robbie Cutthroat, who, despite storyline not making much sense or whatever, Robbie Cutthroat still has his opportunity coming up. Johnny Christ is building as a star back on Massacre. We're going to see what he can do in the future. The next match was Apparel at the Packard Plant Street. What the fuck are you serious? Apparel at the Packard Plant Street fight between Dollface and the Dragon Queen. It was an esteemed match. Again, both competitors showed up. Shocked I was. And as shocked that I was, they brought it out, man. And I was amused. I was entertained. I struggled a bit to keep what was going, but overall, in the end, Dollface picks up the victory as she continues her march as the top female in XWE, taking over Indra's spot over that other gothic chick spot, and it looks like she's going to end up facing Emberlyn. I'm so used to the other name, but I'm trying to get used to a new fresh start for everybody in XWE. But it looks like that's what's going down at in Incarnation. So, hey, next we had a Fatal 4-Way TLC. Jeez. All right, here's a Fatal 4-Way TLC, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Okay. There's no title on the line. There's nothing to climb the ladder for. There's no reason. 2 out of the 4 men in this match are champions, but no titles is on the line. It was Happy taking on Azebo, who apparently is on a cruise ship off to Jamaica having sex with little boys or some shit. I'm not sure. He's not here. Taking on the Morgue Man, taking on television champion Glenn Sexton. Remind you, he's been called the network champion, the X Division champion, and he's been called every other champion besides the only championship he owns. You're not live. This is pre-recorded. You could erase all this, and you don't have to expose that you're the only one that keeps up with this. You know what? Here we go. You know what? Happy brought it out. Man, Happy came out the gates like just really going into this match, but he's already got a perfect opportunity coming up at Incarnation along with Robbie Cutthroat. How do you know the Massacre situation better than the Massacre? Anyway, so the victory goes to Glenn Sexton. Glenn Sexton picks up the victory. He's a dominant television champion. The Morgue Man doesn't even fucking show up for this. He appears, he cuts a promo for it, he says how stupid it is. I couldn't have agreed more. Everybody showed up, though. I mean, so fuck. I mean, can't complain. Jesus Christ. The next match was a prosthetic leg on a pole match between Michael Valentine, David Blake, and Shooter J. Shooter J was held up by Thurgood Robertson. He got pulled over. He planted meth on him. Shooter J spent the night in jail. I'm not even sure. The XWEPD is cracking down. It was the end of the month, you know, and you know how the police really work. They have to get in everything at the last moment, like all them tickets to meet their quota or whatever. That's what happened. It was nothing to get Shooter J personally. See how I made that work? So David Blake ended up getting this prosthetic leg. He was awfully confused, just as much as me, just as much as everybody else with this massacre. He beats the shit out of Michael Valentine, picks up the victory. Good job, David Blake. Welcome back to XWE. I apologize. Next was an Inferno match between Cody Petty taking on Professor Brittwigger, and we go back to this whole thing of like, maybe we should keep up with who the champions are. Cody Petty is the Massacre champion. He is the he is the X Division champion. Who was calling me? He is the network champion. See, I'm doing everything. They got me so fucked up that I'm calling him every fucking champion now. See, I gave him the Glenn Sexton effect. This is the best result show ever, guys. And I'm doing it alone. Cody Petty is the network champion. He took on Professor Brittwigger in an Inferno match. He burns the shit out of Professor Brittwigger. Brittwigger's going to probably need some fucking surgery after this. Cody Petty picks up the victory. Next is a Piranha Fish Tank Death match. Are you fucking serious? Sheta and Austin Ace took on the team of TJ Vegas and Onions. And you know what? I got to say, out of all the goddamn matches on this card, this one made the most fucking sense. Because TJ Vegas and Onions especially, something to do with anything with a crazy fucking death match involved, something to do with killing somebody or hanging them to a Ferris wheel or, you know, tying them to a rocket and shooting them up to the sun or the moon or something. Onions. And that's why they picked up the victory. TJ Vegas and Onions pick up this unbelievable, outstanding death match victory. They fed Austin Ace to the Piranhas, who I'm not even sure if he's still alive anymore. Shaitan manages to escape being the smarter, more intelligent one. He's laid down a challenge of his own, and which we'll touch on that a bit later on. Probably going to be booking that at the next Eclipse, or hopefully actually at the next Massacre, when we can get things back to making sense and everybody knows who their champions is and what stories are going on, you know, shit like that. Next, we move to a main event. Now, I'll refrain, and I guess it's because of who booked this. This actually made sense outside of the Hell in the Cell, electrified, barbed fire, exploding sushi, octopus, ink death match. The main event was for the Real Pro Heavyweight Championship between Triple M taking on Casey Moran. And, ladies and gentlemen, it turned out crazy. I am so sorry that Casey Moran is already a champion of his own. And, he came out a fighting champion. He delivered what he could. Triple M always giving his best work out there. Triple M retains the Real Pro World Heavyweight Championship. And, of course, Casey Moran goes on to not even his championship defended. Nothing to do with his championship. But he goes on and survives. He doesn't get killed by any sushi octopus. He doesn't get ink on him. He survives. He's a survivor, that Casey Moran is, and I'm proud of you. And thank you for being a friend and being there. And that concluded that massacre. Thank you, Jesus Christ. All right, so we'll be right back after these messages. God, shoot me. And welcome back to a show that actually makes some fucking sense. It's Friday Night Eclipse, which I decided to do after the Saturday Night Massacre, with the results at least, because we had to, after that, we got to have a bit of stability. For Friday Night Eclipse was from the location of the Bon Secure Wellness Arena, Greenville, South Carolina. For what most of you that know by now, my hometown. We left Jumanji, which I thought going to Jumanji made no sense, but boy, do you ever learn lessons in life. Nonetheless, we started out the singles match between Vex taking on Tom Matthews. Tom Matthews comes out hot. Vex comes out hot. There's a lot of heat between these two from the past that many don't know. Tom Matthews manages to pick up the victory. Solid victory for Tom Matthews. I don't know where he's leading to personally here on the Eclipse brand, but I say if he keeps going on this path, I'm looking for bigger things in his future, with him coming off the hot run he did last season on Massacre when things actually made sense and people kept up with things, just good stuff. Next was a singles match between Raw and Killshot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was wild actually, because the Devil's Executioner had popped up and made his appearance, and he cost Killshot the match. Now, see, this is a thing that I didn't understand, is that he didn't. We seen on the last episode of Eclipse that he didn't distract Killshot from anything. It was just going to be a clean match at Incarnation. Well, he makes his present made at this Eclipse and makes it well known what he's after, and that is the Intercontinental Championship, as he cost Killshot the victory here over Raw. Raw picks up a victory, a deserving victory, I suppose. Cheaters. Lots of cheaters. Next, we had the tag team match between, and the two fellow Massacre stars came over to Eclipse this episode. Probably after that last Massacre episode, they were thanking sweet, innocent black baby Jesus that they actually were part of this same show. Doomsayer and Sonny Raxon, who is from Massacre, taking on War and the Reverend Terry Aikman. War being a part of Massacre now as well. Well, guys, we know that it's Doomsayer and the Reverend at Incarnation for the TOPW Heavyweight Championship. However, we seen Doomsayer defeat the Reverend to earn that opportunity, but a bittersweet victory here for the Reverend and War as they take the victory and get a little bit of revenge. Afterwards, the Reverend tries to put the beat down on Doomsayer. Sonny Raxon goes for a distraction, gets caught by War. It turns out, how do you say? Perhaps a massacre. Because that's what wrecks are like, right? We found that out. I'm going to stop making jokes. I'm sorry. Nonetheless, we have it now set up that TOPW championships on the line. It's going to be with Doomsayer and the Reverend. Man, that's if there's one match I got to say I'm looking forward to, it's that one. That's two straight up boys that's going to come into this and fight for a title. That's XWE proud right there. Something to look forward to. Oh boy, our special guest referee next match was the More-Man Rich Diaz taking on Joey DeWitt. Joey DeWitt was taking on Tyler Throne, who he had been calling out for weeks, and Joey DeWitt just couldn't handle it. Well, we offered to have him drug tested because he tried to leave, and he refused. He quit the company. Tyler Throne picks up the victory. A couple months from now, the drug test is gonna come back. Because he did decide to finally take it, and he was angry about it. The drug test is gonna come back in like 2 months, 6 weeks, something like that, and it's gonna be negative. And then we're gonna offer Joey DeWitt a spot in the Hall of Fame. That story sounds familiar. Anyway, Tyler Throne picks up the victory, but he's attacked after the match by the Morgue Man. Morgue Man picks up the title, holds it up, and says, I like this. This looks nice. He drops it over Tyler and says, clean it up for me. I'll need that clean by incarnation. Anyway, that's the match. See, things that make sense. It feels good to have sense in your life. Next, the Reverend Crow took on Puerto Rican Hector. And now, once again, Nephilim sticks his nose into this and causes an outright disqualification. The Reverend Crow is here, done picked up one victory here on Eclipse. Every time these two men get into each other's business, it's a tear. Nobody can get a victory here because they keep interfering in each other's matches. So I'm doing it, I'm booking it, I'm making it happen that the Reverend Crow is going to take on Nephilim at Incarnation. But that's not even the bigger story to this, because as the Puerto Rican Hector is standing there after his fresh victory, here comes Rain Carter and Thurgood Robertson, and they recruit, it appears, Puerto Rican Hector to the XWEPD, and they place under arrest the Reverend Crow and Nephilim. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm going to be looking more into development, because Puerto Rican Hector exited with the XWEPD, and if that's happening, then we got every bit of a multicultural police department in XWE, and I feel like everybody's in trouble. No one's safe. All the naggers are going down. Justice, finally. Let's start with the entire Massacre card. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm sorry. All right, next was the triple threat on Eclipse. Before the Thriller triple threat tag team match that is an actual TLC, that actually makes sense, that actually will have belts on the line, that actually the teams will have to climb the ladder for. I'm sorry. I said I was going to stop, and I'm not. Dave Barron was taking on Rain Carter, who took on the Outlaw Shadow. And ladies and gentlemen, this one turned out insane, absolutely crazy. Thomas Austin, Thurgood was by Rain Carter's side. Thomas Austin was by Barron's side. Johnny Newhaven was by the Outlaw side. This turned into an absolute, how do you say it, massacre. No winner was declared. It was an entire brawl. Security had to come out and separate these men while the XWEPD was trying to place them under arrest. It made absolutely no sense. It made all the sense in the world, actually, but it made absolutely none of it on top of it. Security was able to separate these men and exit them out of the building. The Outlaw and Johnny Newhaven made an escape before there was any type of charges brought on. However, Thomas Austin was placed under arrest again. That's it. Just fuck you, Thomas Austin. Just wanted to do that. Dave Barron was released. He is now having to pay the bond of his tag team partner again. They will be defending their Eclipse Tag Team Championships in that triple threat at Incarnation. Again, I'm excited about that. Next, special guest referee, Grim the Clown. He will be taking on the champion, the Eclipse champion, Carl Coles. He is the special guest referee in this match between the Problem Carl Coles taking on the Bogan Brute. Bogan Brute's been down on his luck here lately, but you got to remember, The special guest referee and the Bogan Brute have a whole lot of ties together. And those ties worked out, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Carl Coles, where is the LOD, if you don't mind me asking? Does he have anybody? Is the LOD even still I know they're a group of people that claim we are the Legion of Doom. But Carl Coles, all on his own, he tries to fight out all this off. But Grim the Clown does exactly what you know he would do. Carl Coles ducks it as many as times as he can, but he runs right into a boot smash to the mat. The Bogan Brute follows it up with a cunt bomb. Excuse me. Can we still say that? Fuck it, we've done said the N-word by now. I mean, why not? He follows it up with a cunt bomb. He pins it, and Grim gives a fast count. After that, still gives a fast count. 1, 2, 3. Incarnation shapes up to Grim the Clown, taking on Carl Coles for that Eclipse Championship. Carl Coles is now, we talk about the LOD. We've seen how Grim the Clown has separated himself from the LOD. So now we have Carl Coles representing what seems like himself now, taking on Grim the Clown, who you got to think, will the Bogan Brute be around for this? Carl Coles has become one of the most iconic superstars here in XWE. And I say that, meaning it. The terminology is true, that he is a lone hero. He is like the Dark Justice. No pun intended, Carl. Nonetheless, there is some light. There's a rainbow at the end of the tunnel. Boy, I'm going down. Will Carl Coles be able to defend his championship at Incarnation? We will find out. But first, we'll have a superstar lineup card for Massacre and Eclipse that I will fucking book. Between Massacre and Eclipse, a super show before Incarnation. I'm Chuck Hucklebuck for WFUK and these fucking results that I had to do by myself once again. I'll leave you with this.
Oh yeah, but my dick is blue. Mic drop.